expecting to see price create something like a double bottom before we take off with this area, which is 100.272 as our first target. Then welcome back, guys. You can see how price continued higher into our initial target of 100.272. That's massive. That's massive. That's massive. We come here week in, week out and give you these gems, and it's amazing, right, to see them play out. We call these trades beforehand. Only a few people does this online, all right, on a consistent basis. Let's go into next week's analysis. All right. So now that price is at our first target, price doesn't move in a straight line. This is an obvious area of resistance. All right. No wonder when price came back there, you can see how it's taking its time, it's stalling and all of that. So meanwhile, it's a new week. Remember, if you've been following my analysis week in, week out, I've called even this bullish move for the month so far. I've made that clear from the beginning of the month. Go back to the first video of November. Just go, the numbers don't lie. Just go see for yourself. All right. I'm not the one that brags a lot, but I already mentioned that I am bullish for the month on DXY. Even though we saw two initial bearish weeks, I am still bullish for the month, and the bullish price action for the month is beginning to kick in. Going into next week, I'll still expect a continuous push to the upside. However, where do we wait for the pullbacks to come into or for the breakouts to happen before we take advantage of the next bullish move? All right, so what I will do is I will just plot a zone around here. Okay, so I'll either like to see price pull back into these areas of 99.828 and 99.675 before we take off. You know, my overall target on DXY has been 101.2614 over 2 months now, and we are making our way there as we speak. Let me delete this arrow. So this is one area to look for buys. Another area to look for buys will be around here, which is above 100.384. Wait for the pullback. If price breaks above 100.384, then stop loss below 100.282, and bullish target is up here, 101.261. all right, so that is my bullish bias on DXY. The next on my list is Euro USD. I'll be expecting a continuous drop in price. Our initial target on Euro USD will be all the way here, which is 1.14723. Welcome back, guys. Just as I predicted last week, you can see how price sold from these areas as I plotted last week and continued super lower to the downside. My first target from last week's analysis is 101. I'll take that again, 1.14723, and you can see that price is almost there. All right, so guys, so far, if you like what I do week in, week out on these videos, just the only thing I ask from you is to compensate our hard work by liking this video, sharing this video, and also leaving a comment. All right, so that it gives me the required motivation to keep showing up here every week. All right, I just want to know that I'm not talking to myself. I want to know that there are people out there that appreciate what I do every week. Please, if you are that silent viewer like me, because I'm guilty of that when I watch other people's video on other contents and all of that, may not necessarily be forex, but please don't do me like that. Don't be me. All right, so leave a like, encourage me to keep showing up week in, week out. All right, so far, if you like what is being provided, value that is being provided on this channel, please show us some love. All right, let's continue. Price is almost there. So going into next week, what do we expect? First of all, what I like to do is look at the weekly time frame. If you remember, I predicted this pullback and this drop to the downside. My long-term target on Euro USD is all the way down here, which is 1.13983. okay, I still think price is going to come there at some point, but let's take it one step at a time. Remember, this is a weekly analysis. So if price decides to go for an initial pullback next week, then I would like to see price come back into these areas of 1.1 1.5564 and 1.15469. All right, so I would like to see a pullback come in there, right? Then we'll continue the bearish move to our first bearish target, which is 1.14723, and the overall target, should price break below our initial target, will be 1.13983. All right, before I go to the next pair, guys, if anything changes next week, we are introducing midweek YouTube live analysis, where you can come with your pair and ask me to analyze them, and I'll be there analyzing your favorite assets on the live session. All right, so I sent out a poll, was it yesterday or so, and people vote overwhelmingly in support of the midweek analysis. So the majorities have it. All right, we may be kicking off this Wednesday, and it's going to be taken off by 1 p.m. West African time. All right, so let's go to the next pair, which is GBP USD. So price is targeting these zones here. Once again, 1.32764 and 1.32135. So I'd like to see price come into that area. Stop loss above 1.32764, and our targets will be back here, 1.3048. Welcome back, guys. You can see that from 2 weeks ago, I wanted to see price pull back into these areas of 1.32764 and 1.32135, which price did, tapped into the first section of that zone, and then sold off to our target of 1.3048. All right, so going into next week, guys, I have this trend line here that I will make obvious now. So this trend line is plotted above here. I would like to see price pull back for a third touch of that trend line, and again sell back down into this level here. So my bearish target for next week on GBP USD will be 1.29869. All right, so that is that on GBP USD. The next on my list is Usdjpy. Wait for price to take out these areas here. Okay, so this area I'm talking about is for a price to break out of 155.032, then stop loss below 154.743, and a bullish move into my bullish target of 157.714. Welcome back, guys. You can see how Usdjpy broke out of the 155.032 area, came back for the pullback, and did a 270 pips move to my overall bullish target on Usdjpy. How cool is that? All right, now going into next week, also I have a trend line below here. Okay, so you can see the impulsive move from the top, which is my target. You know, I know how to plot these zones. It's just like magic, but trust me, it is not magic. It is years of experience. And once again, if you want to be a part of our mentorship program, just to learn how I do these things with this precision, you know what to do. You can register. The link is in the pinned comment down below. Let's trade 10x.com. Register for any of our mentorship program and be able to see the market from my point of view. All right, so let's go back to the analysis. Going into next week, guys, I have a trend line here, 0.1, 2. So could price come to this top for this third touch and give us a buy from there, because I am bullish minded next week. So I would like to see price come into this zone, back into this zone, and hopefully give us a third touch of this trend line before taking off. But to be honest, that is a big ask. That is a big ask. That happening is possible, very possible, but price may also not come for that deeper pullback. But it is JPY pair, right? The swings are usually very obvious, so that may also well happen. But if that doesn't happen, we'll also catch it at the top here. Okay, I'll put a zone at the top here. I'll move this line above. Now, if price comes for the initial pullback into these areas of 155.3032 and 154.743, which happens to be around the third touch of this trend line below on this 4-hour time frame, then my bullish target will be back up here, which is 157.8865. But if price fails to come for that deeper pullback and continues higher, then wait for price to break out of 157.865. Catch it on the pullback. Stop loss below 157.566. My next bullish target will now be all the way up here, which is 161.965. All right, time will not permit me to show you every details why those zones are my zones, but you can quote this price, then look left on the higher time frame to be able to figure out how I am using those zones as my areas of value. All right, so that said, let's go to Gbpjpy. So if price is committed to trading higher, wait for price to break out of 204.200, pull back, stop loss below 203.882, and then a bullish trade into my all-time bullish target for now on Gbpjpy, which is 206.092. Welcome back, guys. You can see the bull's eye precision in this trade also as usual. Price broke above 204.200, stop loss below 203.882. Price went to our long time target. This target has been here for over 2-3 months now. You can go back to the previous videos where I analyzed Gbpjpy all the way from the bottom here. This has always been my target, and now we are there. All right, so 206.092 price is finally at the promised land. But going into next week, we still need to look for trades. First of all, I like to look at the higher time frame. This is the weekly time frame. Price is currently trading at a very strong resistance level. Very strong resistance level. This is the weekly time frame. See how price are traded downwards significantly in the past, and now price is back there. Anything may happen. We may also sell off from here. All right, but don't worry, we'll go to the 4-hour time frame and take things make things simpler and better time our entries and exits. All right, but if price continues higher, my next overall bullish target for now is 214.793 on Gbpjpy. Let's go back to the 4-hour time frame and look at how we can take advantage of this. Okay, so price on Gbpjpy has come for that deeper pullback, but I would still like to see it come and sit inside of these zones, which is 204.200 and 203.882. I'd like to see that pullback come into here, stop loss below 203.882. Then the next target, I'm going to redefine this since price has given us a new level. So if price gives this pullback, then the next target is back here, up here, which is 206.339. However, if price continues higher and breaks above 206.339, just simply make it a zone. It's as simple as that. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. You used to know my slogan when I started this channel. I don't even know why I've stopped saying this. Keep it simple. All right. Wait for price. If price continues higher after this pullback, price comes back into this target and continues higher by breaking out of 206.873. Wait for a pullback into this area. Stop loss below 206.339. The next bullish target, long time target is all the way up here, which is 214.793. How many people move to the upside is that? About 790, or let me say 788 pips move to the upside. However, remember on the weekly time frame, we're at an area of resistance, so price may just keep dropping because it's reacting to a weekly area of resistance and may not give a bullish confirmation at this bullish zone. All right, so does that mean if price continues bearish, so no trade, I'll just sit on my hands and be bored all week? Definitely not. All right, so if price continues lower and breaks below 203.882, just because it's trying to react to that weekly strong resistance, right, then catch it on the pullback, stop loss above 204.200, then sell into, I would sell. All right, don't just take my word for it. Then I would sell into 201.156. All right, so see all the scenarios I've painted. You know areas that you should look for buys, you know areas that you should look for sell. And yeah, that is a detailed analysis on Gbpjpy. The next on my list is gold. Now gold I'm not going to show previously because gold just basically moved sideways last week. This was last week Friday, right? I'm not talking about this Friday of 2 days ago. Definitely not. I'm talking about 2 Fridays ago, before my last analysis, before this one. This was the last candlestick. So last week's analysis, I said I wanted to see price continue higher, but you can see how price moved sideways. There's nothing I can do. I'm not the one that moves the market. All right, the whales move the market. Those with billions and trillions of dollars are the ones that move the market. But I just want to show you, okay, this is the next price projection. If we go to the weekly time frame, however, you can see that we closed with a red dodgy candlestick for last week, but not that type of dodgy that I recommend. I mean, this is happening in the middle of nowhere, so I'm not saying you should sell next week or buy next week because there's a dodgy. Now, for those that knows the video I'm referring to, you know what I mean. You can also, for those that may be lost, watch this video that is being tagged at around this video somewhere. Okay, so but anyways, let's go back to the 4 hour time frame. So for the fact that we close with a red dodgy candle, I'm going to be giving bullish and bearish scenarios. Okay, I still think that price is going to continue higher. However, let's say you get in on a buy, your stop loss below, of course, using proper risk management. Don't even come up with that is gold, so if I lose, I'm losing more than when I trade Euro USD. You don't have proper risk management. I don't know where you took your mentorship program from, but you should know that risk management, whether I'm trading AUD USD or I'm trading gold, if I hit stop loss, there is a specific figure I'm losing, which is the percentage I'm already willing to risk before even getting into that trade. So I hear people say, oh, gold, if I hit stop loss, I'm losing more than when I trade Euro USD. Your risk management is BS, if you know what that means. All right, so your stop loss should be below 4,020.584. Bullish target should be up here, which is 4,206.553. All right, but if price for whatever reason fails to continue higher and it breaks below 4,020.584, catch it on the pullback. Stop loss above 4,053.627. Then bearish target is all the way here, 3,896.097. All right, but there's something I want to point out. So should price continue higher on gold, wait for price to break out of this area. Let's say price comes to our targets and wants to continue higher, wait for price to break above 4231.751. After this, our initial target, wait for price to break out of this, catch it on the pullback, stop loss below 4206.553, and then continue the bullish move to these higher regions of 4,369.240. Okay, so that is that on gold. I see people panicking on BTC, about BTC USD, so I decided to talk about it today. And I don't know why crypto traders make a lot of noise. I'm sorry, no offense, but this is a move that we forex traders we see every day, and our market is even still, at least as it stands, is still the biggest market in the biggest financial market in the world right now. All right, this is just normal movement in price. Oh, price was at $120 2 weeks ago, 1 month ago, blah blah blah. Now is at, you now start panicking. It's price is just doing what price does. And don't even get me started, I also trade gold, though I don't trade it on MT4 MT5s. I actually buy and hold the coin. All right, and I am most likely more invested in Bitcoin than even most of you guys that wants to come for me. All right, if not all of you guys that even wants to come for me in the comment section, I'm sorry, but the crypto rave and crypto traders make a lot of noise. These are moves we see in the forex market every single day. Price is just doing what price does. All right, this is a pure technical move in the market. Double top on the weekly time frame. What do you expect? Price is going to tank. All right, and where do I think price is coming into? I think price is coming into this area here of 73,459.14. That's where I think price is coming. So if you want to cry, your cry is still going to be longer. All right, price is coming right now, as it stands, from what I can see from technical analysis perspective, except if there's a fundamental news event that just drives price up, but from the technical perspective, price is coming to 73,459 region. All right, and I'm going to be buying and holding the coin again from here. Okay, so now price has broken up below a major level of support. Now if I go to the 4-hour time frame, I just want to see price come back and retest that region, either retest here, which is 88,722, or retest $91,035. One of those regions, price will retest there and still continue downward. Okay, either here or here, and still continue downward to this place, 73,459. Hopefully before we take off, because if I go back to the higher time frame, if price breaks below 70, if price breaks below this 73,000 and this 68,959 region, that means price is coming to 52, and I don't think that will most likely happen. All right, so but I think price is coming to this 73,000, or let's say 72,000 region before we continue bullish. All right, so there's nothing to panic about. Price will always go up and down. It's all about demand and supply. Remember, these candlesticks don't print themselves. Price prints candles. All right, so don't let the candlestick fool you. It's demand and supply. Whales we dump at higher price and buy at lower price. It's how price works in any market. All right, so that said, once again, remember our YouTube live session is kicking off on Wednesday by 1 p.m. and you want to be there. Of course, notifications will be sent out, and I'll see you midweek. Thanks for staying to the end of this video, and I wish you a successful trading week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.